Pat, we have a Patreon.
We do.
How do you access it?
You go to patreon.com/CU podcast.
You go, you give us some money. We give you some stuff in return. You get the full video podcast. You get a monthly hangout. You get writing. I got to get one of those up soon. We also do bonus bits. We talk about bears.
We talk about Hank the Tank.
One of the more enjoyable segments we've done. I enjoy our animal talk segments.
Ian and I don't ever butt heads on animals. Rarely on food either. We're on board with food and animals.
I'd say like 80% food, 95% on the animals.
Well, only 80% food?
I'm not huge on South Beach anymore.
Nachos are still great.
They've really taken kind of a slide.
Tacos went down and came back a little bit, but I'll get you back out to. I'll get you back out there, Ian.
We can do Mitch's.
Nachos on me.
Mitch's is good. Yeah, and whatever else.
You got a Patreon poll.
Whatever else.
The reason we're here.
The reason we're here.
In second place, what is so great about streaming 80s commercials? I had a typo there. 48%. Wow. And we're coming up 4 weeks away from my 100th commercial stream. And then hardest NES boss fights at 52%. This comes from a Den of Geek article that covers it. And I was nice enough, Ian, to take my time to put down videos for you to watch some of these boss fights because I'm familiar with some of these.
I'm familiar with some of them too, but not all of them. I have to find this Den of Geek article. It's not linked on the page.
It's literally right there.
Oh, it is?
It's really under 15 hardest NES boss fights.
Oh, shit, it is right there.
Jeez,
okay.
Ian.
Sorry. It's right there. Right there.
This is the author, Matthew Bird. From Vampires and Kingpins to Yellow Devils and Rogue Shadows, these are the 15 hardest NES bosses that terrorize our childhood.
You want me to start at number one?
Yeah. I still can't believe you did that.
I've done it multiple times.
You broke all protocol.
Multiple times I've done it.
You went right to one? Really? Yeah, that's what I remember. We've had a lot of fun in recent months looking at the history of some of the hardest games ever made, but it's hard to talk about the most difficult games of all time without giving a little love to the boss fights that often make them as challenging as they are. Okay, number 15, Ian.
Great Puma.
From Pro Wrestling.
This one I've actually encountered, and he is a
beast.
He is a fucking pain in the ass.
It's a beast.
I have beaten him.
So have I.
But it was very hard. The only time I ever got him, I think I beat him by count out.
You beat him by count. He went cheap.
I think I beat him by count out. I don't think I ever beat him by pinfall.
Oh, I beat him by pinfall. I took down the Great Puma. So the Great Puma probably has double the health of a regular wrestler.
Yeah.
And then really quick, and then wins so many more grapples than it should.
Oh, gets his moves off way too fast.
And can use, almost any special move in the game. That's right. I always forget about that. He can use any move.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He can pull from everyone's moves.
Which doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. We don't know that. We don't know how much health each move takes off, but it is the guy who did Fire Pro, so he probably thought about some of those.
Sure.
But with Starman, took down the Great Puma because one of the only characters that has a special move that's a running move, the flying elbow.
Oh yeah,
which is great. That's why I love Starman. So I just would get him down finally, then hit that move. There.
Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit is 14. I never made it to the end of that game, but the boss fight does look particularly fucking awful.
You have to
cheesy.
Load up that punch, right?
Yeah,
load him up and then just hit him, then load it up again without getting hit. I'm looking at the video right now, right here at the end here. It has all the boss battles. It just looks like one of those sort of fights where you have to be close to perfect, and if you get hit, your strength of your arm goes down, and he throws these things at you you have to start all over again. So it just seems like a nightmare.
You
can't jump.
Doing what you need to do once doesn't look bad. It's the fact that you have to do it multiple times with no mistakes.
Because Doom spits these things at you, but also does a punch.
Yeah,
and it looks like at least with the punch, you can time it, but with the spit, you won't be able to avoid something. It'll just hit you. Then you get him in the corner and just keep punching away until he falls down, and then you hit him with your whatever little gun thing, and then that's it. But yeah, it looks like hell. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look fun. It doesn't look intuitive. Like there's no pattern.
No,
really. Okay, what's next? Machine Gun Willie from your favorite game, Double Dragon.
Hate this game. Hate this boss.
I played this boss more in the arcade than on the NES. The NES, I always had difficulty getting to even halfway through the fourth stage. The arcade, this boss sucks in the arcade. mows you down. I think it's like 2 shots, your health is gone, and like that's it. Another quarter. Never beat it at Bowcraft Amusement Park. I ran out of money.
I know there's a way to cheese this boss fight, but I don't know how to do it. I remember using the Game Genie once to get to the 4th level and then get to this boss fight.
You couldn't even get to the 4th level as a kid. It was tough.
I have, but like, I just remember doing it to try to beat the game.
It looks like, at least on this video, the cheese is jump kicking him as soon as he comes through the door, and you don't let him ever get down to run around. You keep him on the top.
Gotcha.
Keep him on the top. He'll still shoot you. You're gonna get shot no matter what. And then you get some hits, and then he comes down. He ducks most of your jump kicks. You can't do the pin down attack on him. He throws you off. It seems like you're gonna get hit no matter what. It's just making sure you zigzag in and out serpentine.
Sure, serpentine.
And then after that, you got to take on your evil nemesis, your brother.
Right.
You take on Jimmy, because remember, it's only a single player. In the arcade, you fight the other person. That just seems like almost like a Puma thing where they're going to get their hits in. You better just make sure you spam and get some of them in and have enough health remaining.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just get up close, and because he'll headbutt you. Do the elbow. The elbow's the cheapest move in the game. The elbow's powerful, but it looks like he'll even jump over that and jump kick you. So, all right, what's next here, Ian?
Fester's Quest, the alien computer. This was one that I have never been to on my own because Fester's Quest is difficult. I like the game.
I think I played Fester's Quest 3 times at my cousin. I don't have
it. It looks challenging. The video shows him cheesing it. That's really all I've got to say.
Cheesing it by just standing in the middle and just shooting it real quick and using like an invincibility thing. It looks like I'm looking at the video here. It looks tough because there's these lasers in the middle that shoot really quickly. You need a wave gun, and then there's these little things up top that come out with these little balls that can come at you. It looks like at that point you have a powerful weapon with a missile that shoots all over. So it looks like you're cheesing it. It's still difficult, and but it's still cheesing it. There, and it takes over 3 minutes for the boss.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, this would be 2 minutes. That's still a long time for a boss when you're shooting it constantly. There. Let's see what's next here.
The next one was it was Needleman. Mega Man 3's Needleman. I remember Needleman being difficult, but I think picking any Mega Man boss is any regular boss is kind of cheap on the list because they all have a weapon that's going to take them out pretty easily.
Even Needleman. Let me see Needleman here. Let me see. I'm not familiar with Mega Man that much. You know that. Let me see what Needleman's going through here.
It's because Needleman's pattern isn't really, like they say in the article, it's not really random, but it's difficult enough to be a pain in the ass.
So they're using the little ray weapon that bounces off the wall. So this person is just shooting it and it's missing, and almost hitting it every time on the rebound. He's doing his little needle attack, which hits you. It's like a long reach, and then fires from above, and that's a tough boss. Yeah, because it tracks you. The needles. There's multiple needles. You got to keep moving away. Then if you get in close, you get wiped with the head attack. That looks like a tough boss, but this person still beat him in less than a minute. But it looks like you need that ray weapon to help.
Yeah, his weakness is the Gemini laser.
Okay, so that's a tough one. Okay, what we got next here? On here we have Toad Air Marshal from Bucky O'Hare. This is a little shooter stage. It looks like. Not familiar. Are you familiar with this boss?
No, I am not.
Okay, I'm clicking on the little link here. I'm going through it. It looks like it's not a short boss. It looks like it's a multiple stage boss. The first part's a little shooter where he tosses a little grenade at you, which explodes and comes up. It doesn't look like the worst thing, but it doesn't look easy at all. And there is fire in the background, but it doesn't look super difficult right there. And then there's a boss. No, that's it. That's it. Okay, that doesn't look like the hardest thing. It doesn't look easy. That doesn't look the hardest thing. I think they just say
because it's a jarring change of pace. I also would have to wonder what the hitbox is like on your character.
You watching the video? It doesn't look horrible. It's a big hitbox on your character. Looks like you get to stay near the top of the screen. It's really the splash damage from the grenade that you have to watch out for, and you get your hits in. This doesn't look easy. I don't think this would be ultra challenging compared to some of the other ones, but okay. Maybe some people out there think that this one is harder here. Okay, what we got next here?
This one I've actually been to, and I don't remember it being that hard.
I agree with this one. This one I was kind of shocked at, because even as a kid, me and my friend beat this by myself. I'm like, the final boss from Jackal
It's long. Like, there's a lot to it, but I don't remember it being particularly difficult. You blow up a building, and there's a giant tank inside, and then you have to take out the tank. Yeah. And I'm even looking at the video now to make sure.
Hank the Tank. Wasn't Hank the Tank.
No, it wasn't Hank the Tank.
Okay.
But I'm looking at this video now, and it doesn't even look that hard.
I mean, it's
the early part's a little much with all the stuff, but once you get to the tank, it's not. This was one of those games where, like, I'm not saying it was, the easiest game in the world, but I was able to beat this game as a teenager, and I am not good at video games.
So there's little tanks on the ground that are shooting at you, and little people there, and then you have turrets firing at you that are tracking you. So it's one of those bosses where you have to constantly pay attention more to what's attacking you first before you attack that, and playing defense. But that's not.
But it's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable. No, it's not. And then you're right. Once you blow up the tower, you have a big tank appear. And honestly,
the big tank isn't that big of a deal.
It looks tough, but honestly, I'd rather be focusing on just the one tank versus everything by, on the ground.
The second half is way easier than the first half. I do recall that.
It looks like if you lose the missile, you're kind of screwed because you have to get closer to it. But no, this isn't the most difficult thing in the world.
I love Jackal.
Jackal's a great game.
Jackal's fantastic.
Fell asleep during the first NES marathon.
Yes, he did.
And then your whistling woke me up. You didn't know I was asleep. I just literally woke up. I fell asleep for 20 seconds and woke up, and that was it. My 5-hour energy kicked in.
Mr. Big in Narc is an absolute pain in the ass.
I don't know if I played that.
That game is a pain in the ass, though. Like, the entire game on the NES is a miserable mess.
I know. I remember renting that game and being like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Same.
Oh, yeah.
And using the Game Genie to beat it as well, because I realized that there was no playing this game for real. It's a 4-button arcade game.
Yes.
And instead of using like the start and the select buttons as additional buttons, which still would have sucked, they use a tap or a hold method for the NES game, and it sucks.
Which you get used to for the machine gun.
Yes.
But for the jump thing,
for the jump and crouch, it sucks.
But that's about all you can do, though. Like, you can crouch and shoot the machine gun at the same time, but
it's an awful fucking game.
I don't remember why the boss is hard, because it's just constantly going up. I think it goes up and down and just shoots at you constantly. Is that why?
Yeah, I just remember it being
just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, just a pain in the ass. Covers the screen in instant death projectiles.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what's next we got here? We have
Shadow Link.
Shadow Link.
Yes, difficult. You can cheese it, but if you're not cheesing it, it's very difficult.
Shadow Link is like one of the knights on steroids.
Yeah.
Where like the AI is just ratcheted up to another degree.
It's a pain in the fucking ass.
I remember, I think I beat it once when I was a kid, I believe. And it was one of those almost things where it was just determination and luck. I don't think I cheesed it. It was just like, just it's a mad scramble from what I remember. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's almost like you can't go up and try to gauge where the shield's going to be. You just got to like try to go hit and come out. But that thing is fast and fierce. It's according to the article. Shadow Link's ability to mimic your movements and attacks makes him one of the most uniquely challenging enemies in this game, as well as in the history of the Zelda franchise. It's an incredibly erratic encounter that most players won't stand a chance of beating unless they take advantage of a particularly useful glitch. What is that? In the corner thing? You go in the corner?
Corner, kneel, and attack, I think, is what it is.
I'm trying to remember if that's how if I cheesed it as a kid or not. The Technodrome in Ninja Turtles is tough.
Yeah, fuck that.
I beat it as a kid, but that's like...
Never.
The funny thing is that's probably... It gets, once you get inside Technodrome, it's hell on earth.
Yeah.
Never beat, I got the Shredder once as a kid and couldn't beat Shredder. Because as a kid, I didn't farm for the scrolls. It's really the scrolls is what makes that game beatable. And but I remember that Technodrome being bad. I probably wiped out at least 2 of my 4 turtles to get through that Technodrome. I mean, like constantly switching.
Yeah, and this article says what I recall. There's no like good way to cheese it either. You just have to do it.
You just gotta like there's a little there's the lasers, there's the foot soldiers. Let me see the video real quick. I'm forgetting it. I haven't played. I should really try to beat Ninja Turtles since I never did it before. I did not put that one down here. But yeah, the Technodrome sucks. Number 5,
Yellow Devil.
Yellow Devil.
Yellow Devil's a pain in the ass. There is a pattern to it, and I've seen people who are really, really good at it. You can learn the pattern to the level Yellow Devil.
Bricks?
Yeah, of how it like fires everything out, but it sucks, man.
Do you use the cheat to beat it, where you pause it when it's on?
Yeah.
When you fire on, you do the pause.
I have.
That's like what's amazing about that is that why isn't that an end level boss? Like why didn't they put that at the end of a stage? I guess they want to make sure that all the robot masters are.
Well, that is it's the Wily's Castle boss.
So I'm just saying like that's an impressive boss.
Yeah.
And also how it goes and reconstitutes itself. Like it's a really good boss.
No, it's a really cool
I'm giving
boss.
Mega Man credit.
Yep.
For the first game, the first and after 3, Then Jackal Ninja Gaiden is really tough. Jackal is tough because it's a 3-stage boss.
Yep.
And then it does replenish your health, I think, on the last one, I believe. That last boss, though, he flies around the top with the heat-sinking, orb that comes at you, whatever. You got to, like, jump certain angles to avoid it and then go on the pedestals to hit it. It's, you got to be top skilled. You can't cheese that, really.
Right.
You just got to be skilled and keep moving. I did put that video down of that, didn't I? Did I not have to put that one down either? Yeah. No, I didn't, for whatever reason. That boss is tough as well. You don't get a moment to breathe, as it says here. Then Joker and Batman.
I've never made it that far because the game is very, very difficult all the way around.
Okay.
I do think he looks like a pain in the ass here. Mostly it's the fact that lightning takes so much fucking health from you. And his gun does too. Like, you're just dead in no time. So while there's definitely a pattern that you can follow here,
there is a pattern.
It's just one of those games where if you make a couple mistakes, you're
done.
fucked. Yeah, you can't mess it up.
I've only beat it with save states. So he fires a gun at you. The lightning comes down in rows, so you have to know the exact distance away. That I remember. You know the exact distance away of, like, you can kind of figure that out.
He can be cheesed. I mean, and it shows him being cheesed in this video with the batarangs and by
going
staying
close.
really, really close.
Going close, and you can still get hit, but like, well, how's it not hitting him? Well, it's not a cheat on. It's just getting close, and he runs the other side. You get close and just batarang.
But until you know to stay very close, that's like one of those things that's like a bug. The game wants you to have to deal with all of these fucking patterns and bullets.
Yeah, they want you to deal with the lightning, and then the gun you can't duck. Right, you have to jump over the gun.
Yeah. So if you want to play it on their terms, it's going to be difficult.
And the gun fires super quickly.
Fast. Yep.
So it's almost like one of those things you're going to take hits. Well, this person cheesed it though. There you go. A lot of hits it takes too. My God, it's like 100 hits before that. I think I cheesed it when I played it. Yeah, I got close. I don't remember jumping back. I remember the Joker staying in one area more so. Wasn't going back forth, and I got close and was crouching and firing the batarangs. What's next here? We got number 2.
Dracula, Castlevania 3. Castlevania 3 is a very difficult game. And Dracula's boss fights are usually pretty difficult too. I don't remember personally, and it's been a long time, there being anything that was particularly stand out about the Dracula in Castlevania 3.
I never beat the third game. So
could be wrong.
The third one's one I never really got into. I just never, for whatever reason.
So I'll pass on judgment of that. But
so he fires these flames up from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So you see him coming. There is a warning, so you can avoid them. So I'm trying to think, like, where does it get? That's the first stage. Then it turns into this weird face monster that flies around, and then it fires straight down. That doesn't look too hard. And then then it falls apart. Then there's a third phase. Okay, this is called the phases. There's all these phases that are radically different than one another. The third phase is a statue shooting these beams, and there's platforms that go around. I guess you can jump on, but they're using the magician, whatever his name is, to fire the orbs. So, like, you're out of danger if you can switch to that character. It looks like. So that's the third stage. Okay. I mean, honestly, I never played this one. I would think Castlevania 1 looks harder than this. That's just me.
right.
Because Castlevania 1, the things are constantly jumping around, and Dracula's like that.
Your jump has to be perfect to get over the fireballs.
This doesn't look like you need that level of perfection compared to the first game. At least to me. But you can say, Pat, you never played it. And number 1, drum roll. Mike Tyson. From Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This person said, it somehow feels right that Mike Tyson tops his list ahead of Dracula, the Joker, and various mythological monsters, considering the former heavyweight champion was indeed the baddest man on the planet at the time of Punch-Out's release, one of the few fighters ever who brought the true final boss energy to the ring. There's no real trick to beating Mike Tyson. In order to overcome one of the toughest bosses in history, you need to memorize his complex pattern and perfectly execute a complex series of dodges and punches that'll leave you feeling that you just went 15 rounds with the actual Mike Tyson. I don't disagree with this. And this is why.
It's very difficult.
It was not just the fact that there's no cheesing Mike Tyson. Yeah, you can know the pattern's coming, but you still are going to get hit or have to block. You're going to take damage.
Yes.
You still have to dodge. You still have to have, like, the best reflexes of any NES game, like, arguably. You need to react in a tenth of a second. Like it has to be that quick to dodge those uppercuts. Has to be.
Right.
So like you can't play it on an LCD TV with even a tiny bit of lag. Depending on TV, you can't do it. It's also the intimidation factor. Holy shit, it's Mike Tyson. And when you come into it, you don't know what to expect. So I can guarantee you, no one on the planet beat Mike Tyson the first time they faced him. Like that would
no, absolutely not.
That would be an impossibility to me, unless you were a genius that knew that the one hit fucking deaths were coming for the first 90 seconds of the first round. I've seen people not get past that ever. Not get past that, not be able to have the reflexes to get past those uppercuts that take off your entire, for the first round to just put you down for the count.
They're so quick.
Yeah, you get a flash for literally. It's like so over. Like I can't. It's hard for me to think of another NES game where you need that much reflexes in order to beat a game like that. Not a Robot Master. You need to be that quick.
Yeah.
I remember playing Super Spy Hunter for the book, and like you had to be really on the ball. But like, I don't think it was like this. And
Super Spy Hunter,
that's like a shooter.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is the game. So yeah, I don't disagree with that.
All right. Well, thank you, Den of Geek.
And thank you for voting it.
Yeah.
Out there on the Patreon.
Fun. I like doing these listicles.